People ask me, did you come from a musical family? And well, almost not quite. See, what happened was my brother actually showed some talent in piano at a very young age. The way I understand it, he went over to the neighbor's house and started playing their piano a bit. The neighbors come over and they tell my parents, you should get this child lessons. And so I had a first grade teacher who was a frustrated piano virtuoso who hated children. She was known to us as the screamer because one of her things that she really would do all the time is scream at her children in her first grade class. I can remember, I don't remember much about my childhood, but I have this one incident frozen in my head where she was going around the room and she was checking people's workbooks, their arithmetic workbooks, and I had gotten a question wrong. And she raged out of control and screamed, "Wrong!" And she took her ballpoint pen and drew a big X all over the page, nearly destroying the entire book. What does that have to do with this story? Well, that was my brother's introduction to the joyous world of music. That was going to be his piano teacher. Why? Well, she lived right in the street behind us. He could walk right over. Great reason. So, on the first lesson, she apparently said, I can't teach him if he doesn't have a piano. You need to have a piano in the house. Get a piano. So my parents looked for the least expensive and the most available thing. And before I knew it, somehow they had gotten this big upright piano down in our basement. And it for certainly needed some disassembly to get down there. This piano was bright red. Somebody had taken some heavy outdoor paint and they had painted the entire chassis of this piano. As if that wasn't bad enough, the instrument had a cracked soundboard and other structural problems so that it would not tune up at all on either side of the piano. And in the middle, it was very iffy. For some reason, my brother did not stick with the piano very long. Isn't that like children? A couple of years later, when they decided to get the piano out of the house, they tried to get it out through the back stairwell, and it got stuck, badly stuck. A couple of years after that, somebody came with a lot of power tools and cut the thing up into pieces and hauled the darn thing away. The first really decent guitar that I ever got that really played up and down the neck was one of those Yamaha nylon string guitars. We got one for my brother-in-law and for myself, and we got it down at Ted's music shop. Ted was an elderly Italian gentleman. His store was weird. He had stuff all over the place. Broken instruments, broken cases, boxes, garbage, violin bows, cello bows. The place was so stuffed, and only he knew where things were. When we walked in there, we were greeted by Ted, who says to us, "You're a Jewish." He says, my brother got very sick, and the Jews took a very, very, very good care of him. They were very, very good to him. And now, I'm going to be very, very good to you. I'm going to take very, very good care of you. What do you need? Thank you. We need two inexpensive nylon string guitars. Oh, I have a beautiful thing just for you. Gets down on all fours and starts digging like a squirrel. And there's stuff flying up in the air, violin bows, boxes, weird stuff, garbage. And then he pulls out with all his might these two cardboard cases, And inside those cardboard cases are two brand new nylon string Yamaha guitars. And he gave us a pretty good deal on those guitars. Every time I went into the shop after that, I found that there was no price tag on anything in the shop, and that if you didn't like the price on, let's say, a set of strings, you could always just go back the next day and get a totally different price. Well, it looks like we're over time. 3 times a week I come on for 5 minutes and talk about nothing in particular. So until next time, be well.